Hey everybody, this is Thomas Bennett with iCEV. I'm part of the technical support department. I'm here to tell you about some very exciting LTI updates that are coming very, very soon. Basically, what we've implemented is the ability for customers to customize their course in icvonline.com and then export that course into what's known as a common cartridge file. The common cartridge file can then be imported into your learning management system. Specifically, right now we're focused on Canvas and Schoology, but we will have other LMSs being added to our support. So without any further ado, let me show you some of our videos that our developers have released to us. Yes, that's how early on we are. I don't actually have access to it right now, but I should have access to it to do quality assurance, as I am part of the technical support team. So when this doesn't work, you're going to be calling me, and then I'll be working with the developers to get whatever the problem is resolved. But as a former CTE teacher, I am extremely excited and extremely jealous that all of you are going to have this capability, because this is going to allow for a very awesome turnkey operation. So let's jump right into it. All right, so the very first one is just going to go over how we're going to be exporting our files. And let me just hit play, and I'll kind of narrate through the process. So right now, as you can see, we're accessing one of the courses. And if we scroll down, there's going to be an export common cartridge file. So what this is going to do is this is going to take everything that's been created, and it's going to package it into a file, and you're going to have the option to export this as a Canvas common cartridge or as a Schoology common cartridge file. And so as you can see, there's our two options. And then we're just going to scroll through, verify this is everything you want, hit export. And as soon as the export process is completed, it's actually going to download as a file. Now, the other really cool thing about this is that because you've created the course in icvonline.com and you've exported it as a file, the external tool that does the grade passback can now keep track of other changes. The most important change, student feedback. In the past, when the students submit their work, the students are always shown the answer. Now you have full control over what the students see. If you only want the students to see a score, that's all they're going to see. If you want the students to see what questions they got wrong, but not the answer, you can do that as well. You can also give them full access to see anything and everything that they want. So as you can see, the file is downloaded. And in this demonstration, they're just showing that for Schoology, it would be essentially the same process. You don't really have to worry too much about what's going on, but Canvas and Schoology, they kind of use different technologies in the background, so we had to make some changes. Now, what we're showing here is you can actually create a custom course from scratch, and then you can just export that custom course. So you don't have to use a pre-made course. If you want to create a course from scratch, go for it. And then you can then export that as a common cartridge file. Now, some of the other really cool functionality here is that you can actually show and hide the individual assets, meaning, assignments, assessments, student notes, vocabulary, all that fun stuff, or even the entire lesson. Here in icvonline.com, if you hide or show things over here, over in Canvas or over in Schoology, let's say you have everything published. Well, if it's hidden over here, the students won't be able to access it. So this is one more way for you to be able to control what the students are doing, when the students are doing it, and all that fun stuff. So we're just trying to make this as turnkey and as easy for y'all to be able to utilize this and get up and running as quickly as possible. And of course, we still have grade passback and all that fun stuff as well. And so you can see there the file's been downloaded. And there's going to be a follow-up video with regards to how to import this file into Canvas and into Schoology respectively. And so if you didn't necessarily want to export an entire course or an entire customized course, you can actually export an individual lesson if you would prefer. That would probably be, I would say, probably the fastest and easiest solution, because those files typically are smaller and you'll have a lot more control over the individual lessons, but it's completely up to you. So, and along with this, we are currently working on changing our PDF documents into teacher graded interactive assignments, meaning the PDF documents, the students will be able to answer directly, and then you'll be able to come into icevonline.com to grade those entries, and then those grades will pass back into Canvas or into Schoology, whichever learning management system you're using. Okay, and as you can see here, we're starting the next video, and basically what's happening at this point is the file's been exported and the file's been imported into Canvas. Don't worry, Schoology customers, it's going to operate essentially the exact same way. You know, the biggest difference between Canvas and Schoology is kind of like the biggest difference between Home Depot and Lowe's. One of them is orange, one of them is blue. So it's just, we're literally getting ready to release this to quality assurance. And after it gets through quality assurance, we're going to release it to the public. And so right here, with this particular error message showing up back in iCEV, this particular scenario, the customer doesn't have a subject area license. And so this is just showing that we have a lot more interactivity between icevonline.com and the external tool. And now we're going to be picking on the effective reading strategies. And please note that all of these operations, as you're seeing, are on the development servers, and these aren't typically as fast as our production servers. So a lot of this lag time you're seeing, you're not going to be seeing in the real world. And right now they are submitting the progress. And so they're scrolling through and they're showing the student feedback. And now what we're doing is in iCEV, we just made this not visible to the students. And now you can see that the students are receiving the message that visibility is set to off. And so you'll be able to control it's another layer of control. You'll now be able to control visibility settings from within icevonline.com, as long as you have exported the common cartridge file from icevonline.com. If you're using a previous resource, like from, let's say, Canvas Commons or Schoology resources, this capability won't operate. And right now, so we're going to actually hide the lesson in icevonline.com, and you're going to see that the error message will change. And because we're hiding the lesson, everything that's part of the lesson is also not visible to the students. So I hope this has been helpful. We are extremely excited, and we are really looking forward to getting this rolled out very, very soon. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, there will be some follow-up videos with regards to importing directly into Canvas Commons. I'm sorry, into Canvas and into Schoology. Also, once this has been rolled out, all of our resources that are available on Canvas Commons and Schoology resources will be taken down. So don't let that alarm you. This is going to be just part of our overall rollout of this particular process. Once again, this is Thomas Bennett. I'm part of technical support with iCEV, and thank you so much for your time. Hey everybody, this is Thomas Bennett again with iCEV technical support. We're going to go over how to import common cartridge files in Schoology. So if you take a look at this Word document that I have open right now for all of our Schoology users, this has very detailed step-by-step directions from Schoology on how to import common cartridge files. So in case this video doesn't go over something specific, this documentation will probably help out. Now, for any of our Canvas users, it's essentially going to be the same process, a little bit different, but you can go to this address up here to get direct instructions from Canvas on how to import common cartridge files. So with all that being said, let's dive in. All right, so I've created a brand new course and I've already added my student to this course. So let's add some resources. So click on resources. All right, so we're going to click up here. We're going to click import and we're going to choose common cartridge file. And I'm just going to name this something generic. And we're going to attach a file. And we'll do this one. And we click next. And at this point, we're going to have to wait on Schoology to finish processing this file. So I'm going to go into the transfer history area and we will wait for Schoology to finish processing. All right, very good. Okay, so the import's completed. So let's go back into resources and there's our file that we imported. I'm going to import advanced pruning into my course. Let's see here. Yep, that one. And I'm not going to put it into a subfolder. All right, so now let's go into that course. All right, now with Schoology, after you've imported the common cartridge file, you'll have to go through and tell Schoology which ones are going to be graded. And so for this particular instance, I'm going to pick on assessment. So I'm going to edit. And of course, the external tool has to already be set up. And I'm going to leave that on automatic. But what we're going to do is we're going to enable grading. I'm going to set it for 100 points. And I'm going to actually create a new category. I'm just going to call this assessments. And I'm going to hit save changes. All right, so now I'm going to go back into my student account and I'm going to hit refresh. Very good, there's advanced pruning. And I'm going to go into the assessment. And the goal here is I'm just trying to get above a 0 so I can show you the grade passback functionality. I'm not planning on answering every single one of these. And I do apologize again to all of our floral design and agricultural teachers. My CTE background was basically all the computer nerd stuff, business information management, all that fun stuff. So I'm hoping, let's see here. There is one I do know the answer to. There, that one. Okay, so I should at least get a 20. All right, so I'm going to hit finish. Yes, I want to submit. Okay, very, very good. Okay, so I at least got a 10. All right, so if we scroll down, you can see here with the student feedback in its current form at the time of this recording, it's going to show the students the question and the correct answer. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, there's the one I do know. And so with this big update that's about to roll out, you are going to have full control over what the students see And that's one of the various exciting aspects that we have coming. So let's go and take a look at the gradebook. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the advanced pruning assessment score of 10. I'm going to go back into my teacher gradebook. And let's see here, there we go. Okay, and you can see here, advanced pruning, it's showing assessment a score of 10. Now, in the event that a grade doesn't show up, there's going to be a couple of reasons. The first one, if you're seeing a bunch of zeros, you need to go back and change the grade value there, or at least double check the grade value. There's a chance that when you enabled grading, accidentally this was set to 0. You need to set that to something above 0, and then you'll start seeing grades float in. Now, if for some reason you have a student that swears up and down, if they've done the work, it's just the grade isn't showing up, this is probably going to occur due to either slow internet or Schoology. Their infrastructure is just running slowly, and basically the grade passback, the grade itself, is kind of lost in a purgatory. And eventually it just kind of times out and the file gets erased. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this grade to represent a 2. And then we're going to have the student manually re-trigger grade passback. So you can see here I'm in student view and it's showing as a 2. All the student needs to do, if a grade doesn't show up, there's nothing that you have to do, there's nothing that I have to do. The students just need to go back, go into the completed lesson. In this case, it's assessment. Don't worry about this. This is literally just an indicator to let the students know if they passed or failed. We do, of course, send the grade, but all the student needs to do is click summary. When they click summary, what happens is that tells our server, hey, this grade needs to be repassed back into Schoology or into whichever learning management system you're using. In this example, it's Schoology. So you can see here that 10 has returned. I'm going to go back into the teacher grade book and we're going to refresh. Okay, so there's that 10. Now, one really cool thing is that, and it depends upon what version of Schoology you have. If you see track revisions, you can actually monitor all of these changes that are happening. So you see here, anonymous, that's basically a third party. Schoology doesn't know who it is, so they just label it as anonymous. So that's when the student originally submitted the work of a 10. Now, demo account, that's the name of the teacher in this account. So, you know, John Smith, let's say that was your name and you're the Schoology teacher, John Smith would actually be showing up here. Well, so I flipped the grade back to a 2. And now, after the student resubmitted or clicked on summary, the grade that we have on our server got passed back into Schoology. So this is just kind of a safety net that we've built in. And yeah, it's just, you know, grade passback is one of the best things ever.